Now, let's say you have some amount of money. Let's say you have, let's just say you have 5,000 naira, and you don't want to keep this 5,000 naira with you throughout the month. So you just decided to go to the bank to save the money in the bank. Now, when you go to the bank to save your money in the bank, something actually the bank does something to your money. The bank trades with your money, and after trading with your money for a particular period of time, the bank gives you some extra money for saving your money for that period of time. So let's say you saved 5,000 naira. After some months or some, let's say a year or something, the bank will give you some amount of money in addition to your 5,000. So that's your 5,000 naira. Then the bank will give you some amount of money, let's say X, because I don't know what the amount will be. So depending on the amount of money you put in the bank and the time frame that your money spends in the bank, so the bank will give you an additional amount of money. So let's say, apart from the bank, let's say you have a friend. Let's say you have this guy as your friend, and this our friend here has some amount of money, and you need to buy some stuff, and you decide to borrow some amount of money from him, and you go to him, you say, John, please, I need 100 naira from you. I need just 100 naira from you. And John says, okay, since you are going to borrow 100 naira from me for, let's say, 2 months, well, I'll give you the 100 naira because you are my very good friend. I'll give you the 100 naira, but after the 2 months, you are going to give me some amount of money to this 100 naira, and that will be my own personal money for borrowing you this 100 naira. So when you loan money from banks or from some people, so to say, you'll normally be asked to pay some amount of money for the money you borrowed over that period of time. Now, this additional money that is always added to the money either borrowed or saved is called the interest. The interest. So the additional money is called the interest. And the interest paid for depositing money is called interest on saving. Like when you deposited your money in this bank here, this type of interest is called interest on saving, interest on savings. While the interest paid for borrowing here is called interest on loan. Interest on loan. So here you know that the extra money that you pay for either borrowing or you get for either savings is called interest. Now, this interest that is paid on loan or savings over a period of time is called the simple interest. Simple interest. Now, the amount that is deposited for a period of time is called the principal. For example, here we deposited 5,000 naira. It means this 5,000 naira is called the principal. Let me write that out. Principal. Or for example, here we borrowed 100 naira. So the amount borrowed is called the principal. And the period of payment is called the time. For example, here we borrowed 100 naira. And this guy says, oh, you have to pay me my money in 2 months. So that period of payment is called the time. The period it will take you to pay the amount that you borrowed is called the time. For example, you paid 5,000 naira to this bank, and after 2 months you get this X amount of interest. So that 2 months is called the time. So let me write that out. The time. Then apart from the time, we also have the percentage that is charged for the interest is called the rate. For example, here you paid 5,000 and the bank will say, oh, for after 2 months you will get, let's say, 5% of your money, of your 5,000 naira. Now that 5% is called the rate on the interest. So write the rate. We'll say that is our rate. That's our rate. So to calculate simple interest, what we'll just do is we'll just say simple interest. Let me bring this out. We'll just say interest, simple interest, which is normally represented as I, is equal to the principal. Let me use this color. The principal times the time, times the rate. Let me write the rate here, all over 100. Let me write 100 here. So simple interest is always principal times time times rate all over 100%. And we can still write this as simple interest, which is I, is equal to P times T times R all over 100. And we can still write this as, we can even make P the subject of the equation here. We'll have P is equal to 100I all over time times the rate. Then we can also have the rate is equal to 100 times the interest all over the principal times the time. And another interesting thing here is the principal plus the interest is always equal to the amount. Let me write that out. The principal plus the interest, let me bring this down a bit. The principal plus the interest is always equal to the amount. So anytime we're asked to calculate the amount is always equal to principal plus interest.